Toyota's cooking up the next RAV4, but the current model still hits pretty hard for how old it is, so this whole wait or buy now thing isn't as simple as people make it sound. Hey guys, this is Scott from CarLandTV, and today we're breaking down both versions so you know exactly which RAV4 is the better call for 2026. But first, do me a quick favor. Tap that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. It ain't required, but those clicks keep this thing rolling and make it easier for me to keep dropping solid car content straight to your screen. Now let's get back into it. What's changing in the 2026 RAV4? Most people want to know what Toyota is actually changing for 2026, so I started digging into everything credible from industry analysts, supplier leaks, and Toyota's own refresh patterns. From what I'm seeing, the 2026 model is lining up to be a full redesign, not a light update. Toyota usually runs the RAV4 on a 6 to 7 year cycle, and the current generation launched for 2019, so a 2026 redesign fits the pattern almost perfectly. A lot of the reporting points to updated styling with sharper headlights, a cleaner grille, and body lines that match the newer Prius and Crown Signia. Toyota's been toning down the blocky look, so I'm expecting something a little sleeker, but still rugged enough to keep their outdoors crowd happy. Interior changes look even bigger. The new Toyota audio multimedia system already showed up in models like the Tundra and Grand Highlander, and the updated RAV4 is expected to adopt the same layout. That means faster processing, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, and cleaner menus. Toyota has been moving toward larger digital gauge clusters and ditching older physical buttons in favor of more touch-based controls, but they keep physical knobs for volume and climate because owners keep asking for them. Seats are another area Toyota updates during redesigns with better padding and improved lumbar support, so I'm expecting a noticeable difference inside the cabin for long trips. Underneath, there's a strong expectation that Toyota sticks with the TNGA platform, but updates suspension tuning and sound insulation. They've been doing that with every new generation to reduce cabin noise and harshness. That lines up with owner complaints about the current model being a little loud on rough pavement. For anybody debating whether to wait, these upgrades point toward a more refined SUV rather than a minor facelift. Powertrain differences and real-world performance. When I look at the powertrains, I start with what you can actually buy right now. The current RAV4 gives you 3 setups. The regular gas model runs a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with 203 horsepower, paired with an 8-speed automatic and either front or all-wheel drive. In testing, that combo does 0 to 60 inches, the low eighths to around 9 seconds, depending on trim. So it feels fine but not quick, especially when you load it up. Fuel economy is solid though, up to about 27 miles per gallon in the city, 35 miles per gallon on the highway, 30 combined on the gas version. The hybrid steps it up to 219 horsepower with standard all-wheel drive and drops 0 to 60 into the low 7-second range in most tests, while also pulling about 41 miles per gallon in the city, 38 miles per gallon on the highway, and 39 combined. That mix of punch and mileage is why the hybrid is the sweet spot for most people. Then you have the plug-in, which used to be called the Prime. That one is a different animal. It pairs the same 2.5-liter engine with a bigger battery and stronger electric motors for about 302 horsepower, and independent tests plus Toyota's own numbers put it around 5.5 to 5.7 seconds to 60. That is legitimately quick for a family SUV. You also get around 42 miles of electric range and up to 94 miles per gallon equivalent if you actually plug it in and use the battery the way it is meant to be used. For 2026, Toyota is going hybrid only. The new standard hybrid is rated around 226 horsepower in front-wheel drive and 236 with all-wheel drive, and the latest info says the plug-in is jumping to roughly 320 plus horsepower with an electric range in the 50-mile neighborhood and better combined MPG. Some reports even point to DC fast charging and a stronger onboard charger, which makes the plug-in way easier to live with on road trips. So, from a performance and efficiency angle, here is how I see it. The current hybrid already covers daily driving really well and saves a ton of fuel. The new 2026 hybrids should feel a bit stronger and more electric in normal use, while the plug-in looks like the move if you want serious punch and longer EV range without giving up SUV practicality, ride quality, noise levels, and comfort. Ride quality on the current RAV4 is kind of a mixed bag, so I want to start there. In most reviews, it gets called out for being stable and controlled, but also a little stiff over broken pavement. You feel sharp cracks and small bumps more than you do in some rivals, and road noise at highway speeds is a common complaint in owner surveys. Toyota tuned this generation with a more adventure vibe, so the suspension is firmer, especially on trims with bigger wheels and off-road styling. It is not punishing, just not plush. If you are sensitive to noise or you drive on rough concrete every day, that stuff gets old faster than people think. The payoff is decent handling. The current RAV4 does not lean a ton in corners, steering feels predictable, and it stays composed in crosswinds. For a lot of buyers, that trade-off is fine. Seats are where it softens up again. Front seats in most trims have good support and a wide range of adjustment, and long-distance comfort scores well in road tests. The back seat is roomy, with plenty of legroom and a comfortable recline angle, so passengers are not suffering on road trips. Looking at the 2026 updates, the expectation is that Toyota keeps the same basic TNGA platform, but dials in more refinement. Every recent new-gen Toyota on that architecture has picked up extra sound deadening, tighter body sealing, and retuned suspension to calm down noise and vibration. I am expecting thicker glass on higher trims, better insulation in the floor and firewall, and revised dampers to take the edge off impacts. Cabin materials should also move up a notch, with softer touch points and maybe better seat foam. So if you are picky about ride and quiet, the new RAV4 is likely to feel more relaxed and more grown up than the one in showrooms right now. Interior tech and controls. Inside the cabin, this is where Toyota already did some homework on the current RAV4. Most trims now run the Toyota Audio Multimedia System, with an 8-inch touchscreen standard and a 10.5-inch screen on higher trims, plus wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you are not fighting with cables. You still get real knobs for volume and tuning and a separate row of physical climate controls, which is clutch for older drivers who do not want to dig through menus just to change the temperature. On nicer trims, there is a 7-inch or available 12.3-inch digital gauge display, but Toyota keeps the fonts big and the layout simple enough that it does not feel like a video game. The 2026 RAV4 steps that up. Toyota is giving it the latest generation of the audio multimedia system with a standard 10.5-inch center screen and an optional 12.9-inch unit, plus a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster across the board. Graphics are sharper, processing is faster, and you still have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, now backed by Toyota's Arene software platform that supports customizable home screens and a quick control menu for common settings. That means you can pin navigation, audio, or drive modes where you want them, and hit them with one tap instead of hunting through layered menus, which is a big quality of life upgrade for seniors. From a usability standpoint, here is how it lands for me. The current RAV4 is already simple and friendly, with enough screen and plenty of hard buttons. The 2026 model keeps the key physical controls, adds bigger and clearer displays, and gives you more control over what you see, so once it is set up, living with it day to day should be even easier. What you get for the money. When we start talking trims and pricing, this is where the decision really hits your wallet. The current RAV4 is still the cheaper doorway into the lineup. For 2024, gas models start around 28 to 29 grand for an LE, low 30s for an XLE, and mid to high 30s for limited and TRD off-road. Hybrid trims usually run about 3 grand higher, with a hybrid LE starting in the low 31 range and a hybrid limited landing around 40,000. Because this generation is near the end, dealers are more willing to play ball with discounts, especially on gas trims and slower colors. The 2026 story looks different. Toyota is going hybrid only and bumping the pricing. Early numbers put the new RAV4 Hybrid LE around $33,350, which is roughly a $2,000 jump over last year's entry model. All-wheel drive adds about $1,400. Mid-trims like SE and XLE Premium slide into the mid to high 30s, and stuff like Woodland, XSE, and Limited moves into the low to mid-40s before options. On top of that, brand new generations usually have less room for negotiation in the first year, so most folks are paying closer to sticker at launch. Value-wise, I look at it like this. If you want the lowest payment and you are cool with proven tech, the current hybrid in an LE or XLE trim is the budget-friendly move, and you can often catch rebates or dealer markdowns. If you are willing to spend a bit more to get better performance, nicer tech, and stronger resale from the new model Glow, the 2026 Hybrid SE, XSE, or Limited is the play. You are paying more, but you are getting more standard equipment baked in. Which one to buy in 2026? One thing I always consider is how these SUVs treat you after the honeymoon phase, because that's where the real costs show up. Long-term ownership is a mix of reliability, maintenance, and how well the value holds once you start putting miles on it. Toyota's track record makes this part easy to measure. Consumer Reports has the brand sitting near the top almost every year, and the current RAV4 has consistently scored above average for its powertrain, hybrid battery performance, and overall durability. That 2.5-liter hybrid setup is already shared across the Camry, Highlander, Sienna, and Corolla Cross, so it has years of real-world data behind it. Value retention is another big piece. Used RAV4s are some of the strongest sellers in the compact SUV segment, especially hybrids. Dealers know they move fast because fuel economy and Toyota reliability always stay in demand, even on older models. Buying the tail end of a generation usually gives you stronger reliability and a lower entry price, and that helps the current RAV4 hold its value well, even as the new design comes in. The 2026 model will carry a premium at first because every new generation gets that fresh launch bump. You also get improved tech, more power, better refinement, and updated safety tuning, which usually helps resale for the first few years. So here's the way I break it down. If your priority is proven reliability and saving money up front, the current RAV4 hybrid is a safe, long-term pick. If you want newer tech, a stronger hybrid system, and you plan to sell or trade sooner, the 2026 model gives you more upside even with the higher sticker.